It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma on a Tuesday, Election Day, November 5th, 2024. It's one of those rare times where I feel like just get it all out, just shake it all out, just like puke, whatever, drink, do drugs, whatever irresponsible things you do to sort of cope with life and things, or in this case, that feeling you get when you leave the voting booth, just there.
Yeah, drink and do drugs. Do what all the politicians do.
Do everything I can't.
Yeah, that's what Trey wants from you on this. All the things that being an 8-year sober chip carrier says he cannot.
Yeah, that's what you. That's what I plan on doing. I'm gonna have a couple of cocktails. I'm gonna smoke some weed. Go to sleep early. Wake up and find out what kind of dumpster fire we're in.
Because it's like I said. It's like I said yesterday. It's like, get out there and vote, and just remember that no matter who wins, we're all gonna need luck. Doesn't matter who. That is sincere.
Yeah.
I wish all of us in our country best wishes in our future endeavors. No, seriously, happy Election Day, everyone. I'd like to quickly point out, I believe I am one of those people, and I don't know if this is a conservative thing or a liberal thing. I just think it makes sense. We should make this day a holiday, a federal holiday to encourage people to go vote.
Mm-hmm.
But, whatever.
I know a lot of companies are giving people paid time off, 4 hours PTO, as they call it, I think. I haven't had a corporate job in 25 years. Yeah, I haven't had 25 years. Yeah, going on 25 years now. Haven't sat in an office. But they did not give us the PTO back in the day.
25 years you haven't sat in an office? You sound like a senator.
I feel like Ted Cruz.
Oh man,
I know that I don't know if it's all of Texas, but most of the schools are out. Like it's teacher work day, but they
sure.
I think that's a good thing. Let any chance you get as a teacher, and I'm very biased because I come from a family of teachers. Any chance you get to have a day without the children, by God, give it.
Yeah, I mean that's what the southern states call it, is a teacher in service day. Up north, it's called election distress. It's what they give them for the first day, the election day, and the day after. They get to the kids have to deal with their emotions. So in Texas, we don't care about the kids. We call it service.
No. Texas cares about the kids. They just want you to walk it off a little bit.
Just rub some dirt on it.
Texas will recognize that if you're having some issues, that we think you should get some help, but at the same time, not use it as an excuse. Which I saw something similar. It was a couple of months ago. How I think it was, Gen Z or whatever. It's everything's blamed on Gen Z these days. How they will take mental health days after a sick day. So they'll be physically sick, say one day where they call into work and say they can't come in. And then they'll take an additional day the day after to recover mentally from the physical sickness day that they had. And this sounds like an extension of it. Election distress. So you're distressed or stressed about voting. So you do that on Tuesday. You do that today, and then tomorrow you take the day off. It's not that bad.
Well, honestly, if your kids are that stressed over an election, as parents, you have just failed.
Yeah. So the idea is they're stressed by watching how stressed their parents are watching the results of the election, that they themselves have to take a day to recover from watching their parents be so stressed out. That's the idea of election distress for the kids.
Oh, no. Suck that right up. Like all of it. You need to turn into a human mop. You need to look like Jenna Jameson, in front of a full train in the middle of the desert type of
Yeah.
thirst. It's like,
I can't even imagine going to my mother, be like, I was watching you guys watch the election and I just need a day to myself. My mom would still be laughing till this day, and she died in 2012.
it was actually listed as her official cause of death.
My son's stupidity.
Yeah. Well, and then if we're being honest, if you actually had the balls to say that to her, she would be laughing between the punches.
Yeah, she'd be laughing at how quickly I died. And you said you come from a family of teachers. My thing is like the teacher in service in my head has always been this since I was like in middle school. Like I've always thought like a teacher's in service is just like they get pizza and booze and beer and they just kind of whatever up at the
I'm with
school like to
you.
kill their hours.
I had the same thoughts, even though I knew what teachers, it's like I lived with teachers. My grandmother was a teacher.
Yeah.
My mom was a teacher for a little while. Before I came around, my dad was a teacher right out of college. But I'm with you. The in-service day
Yeah.
was, I thought, sort of like the teacher's version of a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's like they had to go into school, but they did all the fun stuff
Yeah.
that we always wanted to do, but they crammed it into one day. So
Yeah.
not only was it pizza party day,
Right.
so they got the good cafeteria square pizza. They got
Mhm.
sodas and stuff brought in. Although now I'm an adult, I know that they had that was just the mixers. And then
Yeah.
within the first 10 minutes of that pizza being rolled in, you know what rolled in right after it? The TV on wheels, baby, and it was movie and pizza and
Yeah.
cocktails. I'm with you. That's that was sort of my idea of what a teacher in service day was, not actual work.
Yeah, like the coaches were in the field house with like a stripper on a stripper pole, and then like the female teachers were like in there drinking the cocktails with like a policeman, policeman air quotes, doing his thing, like throwing money, and like that's the in service, which they deserve. They they need to have those 2 days to do
Mhm.
that, and
I
so
think they should have that day.
yeah, I just hope it's not like them just sitting there like going over like continue education and all that crap that they have to go through.
It's not
I
even
just
worth it. Honestly, that's because look, we're obviously not giving them, the amount of money that they've earned. We don't
Yeah.
give them the money that they deserve. So let's give them an honest to goodness in-service party day. Let
Yeah.
them live it. Hang on, I need my bleep. Let them live it the up
Yeah.
on school property, baby.
Yeah, I just want to. I'm actually now tempted to go by the high school that's right around the corner and just see how many Ubers are outside.
Mhm.
Just
I
see.
want to put the school resource officer in such an awkward position. He doesn't know if he needs to take off his pants or if he needs to arrest people.
He's just standing there like as they're groping him, like you know me. I'm not a stripper anymore.
You are in service day, Jim.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You go from school resource officer to strip resource officer. Let's get Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration into the Treehouse. His number is 833-COOK-DFW. The website, cookdfw.com. We are approaching what many people call, Daniel, the most wonderful time of year. It's the holiday season, the Christmas season. I think we need to rename it roofing season because I think this is the best time of the year for you to go out and check people's roofs for free. It should be roof inspection season because storm season has slowed down and you want to see if that roof, you want to see how it did and if it's ready for the next storm season, right?
Dan, I mean, that's I couldn't say it any better. This is the best time to have your home inspected. You're coming out of, the summer. We're going into the fall, which is usually heavy windy, usually a little bit more rainy. But it's cooler temperatures around the corner, and it's a perfect time to come out, look at the property, make sure it's safe. We don't want to wait until, March and April when you start having more heavy thunderstorms and hail. And then, come out and try to do some, preliminary small repairs or tweaks on your roof or your property. So this is a perfect time. And me and all my AC friends always joke around because we're always like, we should run, different specials in January and February for our AC systems. But, even when they do, people don't get them. And it's like, but they wait until July and August when it's 100 degrees, and then they want to get their AC changed out tomorrow. And that's very similar in the roofing business. When we get busy, and we always get your house repaired, and we're going to come out when you have a problem, but so much better if you could, have it done when it's off season. So yeah, definitely a good idea.
Yeah, and if you can have the house, have that roof inspected during the off season, like now, then any issue that may have popped up that you're not aware of can be fixed before the next storm season. So that way it doesn't become a major problem come springtime. Give Daniel Cook a call, 833-COOK-DFW, or that website, cookdfw.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That first segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Fair Lease. Go to fairlease.org to save time and money on your next new vehicle, whether it's an economical lease or a fun, fancy lease, and all points in between. All vehicles in between, Fair Lease has you covered. Just go to fairlease.org, save time and money on your next new vehicle. That is fairlease.org. Well, if there's one huge component, one huge talking point that has been popular inside this presidential election now, which seems to have been going on since the last election, minus a few hiccups in between, is crime. And crime is so bad that it is a federal discussion. It's a discussion at the presidential politics level. And crime has gotten so bad now that our very own Raj Sharma can't get out of the Reno airport without having his phone stolen. And this time it wasn't by Homeland Security for security purposes. No. This one was outright stolen from him at the Reno airport. And you've now been without this phone for, I don't know, it's like almost a week now.
Yes. I left on Monday morning. It was a very early flight. Well, not an early flight, 10:10, but I got there early. Just wanted to get some breakfast in me, kind of hang out about an hour and a half before. And I had an iPhone 8 Plus. That the only reason I had an iPhone 8 Plus is superstition. It was when I first posted from that phone the first video on Instagram that went viral. And since then, I've always posted on that phone all my Instagram stuff that has gotten me to 380,000 plus followers. And we collaborate with the show and all that stuff. And you guys get to see the Treehouse stuff on my page. And so my phone had died.
Which, by the way, you can follow us on social media at Treehouse on Air, and then also the rest of us.
Yeah, and so my iPhone had died, and I just kind of threw it in my bag and didn't think anything of it. When I think lithium battery, I think laptop. So I took my laptop out, which I carried with me all the way to Dallas. And when I got home, I undid my bag so I could charge my iPhone so I could get back to posting the good stuff on the Instagram. And I had to dump the bag. And I was like, what happened with the phone? And then I noticed the charger was missing as well. And I was like, interesting. Okay, so my phone. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, did I dream that I'd put it in there? Maybe let me call the hotel. So called the hotel. So did you find an iPhone 8 Plus? To which the security guard kind of giggled, like, who still has one of those? And I got, nope, we didn't find anything in there. We found a DVD. That's yours. That's the DVD that I sell on the road. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. You can keep that. It's no big deal. I was like, anything else? They're like, there is a toothbrush. And I was like, okay. And so the only thing I could think is it had a lithium battery. They opened it up. And instead of putting like the little leaflet that they do, like, hey, we checked your bag. Sorry to let you know. Don't put lithium batteries in here anymore. Bad, Raj. I did not get one of those. It was just stolen and has since then, they've been actively trying to like access my phone, like hack my phone with various different passwords, trying to hack different sites. So they're trying to
with an iPhone 8,
A 8 Plus.
Oh, my bad.
And I just like to point out, Dan, when Raj was first talking about, he said the only reason I carry an iPhone 8, and you uttered the word cheap.
He did. I heard him. It hurt.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my assumption. I thought it was he just didn't want to get an updated phone.
But I know I'm Indian, and I get it. I get it.
That
I
has
understand.
nothing to do with your lineage. It had everything to do with the fact that you are, in fact, a cheap individual.
I am not cheap. You're cheap. Like you put Indians to shame. Like,
well, look, I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just also saying takes one to know one.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with you being Indian by heritage and Mesquite by birth. It has everything to do with the fact that you're just cheap. It has nothing to do with the stereotype.
I'm very, very I do spend money. Now Dan that doesn't say he's cheap. Dan says that the white version of it, which is frugal.
Oh yes, yeah. No, if I describe it to somebody, I am frugal.
Yes, when he talks about Indians, we're cheap. Like that's how it works.
No, I don't. I never say Indians are cheap. I just say you are.
It felt a little racially insensitive. I'm just saying.
Yeah, thank you so much, Trey.
It was not racially insensitive. It was just Raj insensitive.
And I don't
very
know,
different things.
I don't know why they keep trying to hack in. Like I've changed all the passwords. I've signed out of the phone. I've done all the stuff that I'm supposed to do, and so at the end of the day, they can just factory reset it, and they will have a broken iPhone 8 Plus. Like the amount of effort that they're going through to get to hack this iPhone 8 Plus. They should just call me and I'll just give them the passwords.
So you want the individuals that stole your phone, you want them to call you for tech support? And I'm saying racially insensitive things?
I was just gonna give them the password.
Yeah,
you brought up tech support. Do you want to talk about me owning a hotel or a gas station next, Dan? What's on the agenda?
You don't own either one of those things.
I have family that do.
What's that?
I said I have family that do, but you're never staying at one. And if you are, double the rate.
See,
Trey, you're always free.
Thank you.
You always leave the light on for Trey. For me, it's always pitch black at the Motel Raj. Honestly, that actually sounds like a good. That sounds like a good spot that I would stay. The Raj Motel.
No, you wouldn't. That sounds terrible. There's one in Houston called the Raj Inn. Trust me, I drive by it and I'm like, that's by the hour.
No, that's a bad name. No, the Raj Motel. That sounds nice because it makes you kind of think of the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, that's right. The Raj Motel, right there off of Harry Hines next to Pandora's Box, a place hookers won't go to.
Look, you got to go where the customers are. They too need comfy beds and a bright light on occasion. Nope.
The beds still vibrate. We don't know why, but they do.
There's Apple Pay at the foot of the bed.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
So if you have Raj's phone, return it to the man. His address is in there. If you want, shoot us a text. We'll give you the password. Because they're listening. Let's get Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing into the Treehouse now. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, give her and all of them there a call. 214-368-3838. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. When I had my house in Dallas, Jacqueline, you came out a few times to help us with some issues, and your response time was phenomenal. And it wasn't just because it was me. It was because that's the kind of company you run. You go out of your way trying to help every client and try to get there as soon as you can.
Well, I mean, the reality of it is that plumbing is unfortunately a need and not so much a want. Yes, you can want to remodel the bathroom and that's not pressing, but typically when it comes to service or leak investigations, et cetera, if you've got a stoppage on the main line and you don't know and you keep putting liquid or, waste into the drains, if it has nowhere to go, it will come back in the house. And at that point in time, it's no longer a want, it's a need. And that sort of thing can't wait. When you have those emergencies, You have got to figure out how to manage the crew so that you can have the best response time.
That's right. And they'll show up and they'll do it quickly. Call Jacqueline from Brooks Plumbing for any and all of those plumbing wants and needs. 214-368-3838. And again, that website, brooksplumbingtexas.com.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That previous segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration. For your free roof inspection, call 833-COOK-DFW. That's 833-COOK-DFW. That is for your free roof inspection, especially with storms and such on the way. They're year-round now. Check to see if your storm withstood the last storm season and is ready for the next one, or just the next storm in general. Go to cookdfw.com. Trey, Raj, back inside the Treehouse here. Have you heard the expression, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me?
Well, I heard George W. Bush do it, so it was a very different version of that. But yes.
You know what? I too kind of prefer his version. It makes me smile. It makes me know that even our nation's great leaders are capable of sticking their own feet in their mouth, while at the same time being nimble enough to dodge shoes thrown at them at press conferences in foreign lands.
Pretty solid. Yeah, that was a solid dodge. Yeah.
Love that clip. I'm going to pull that up, make me smile. No, I bring up the old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me.
To answer your question, Dan, about me, how many times have you seen me with an X?
I'm going to reset this bit up. Trey, have you heard the expression, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, Dan. Shame on me?
Yes, I have. And how many times have you seen me with an X?
Hey-o.
Trey's got an add-on to that. It's like, fool me 3 times, she's good in bed.
Fool me 4 times, we're married. Fool me 5 times, we're divorced. 6 times, we're married again. And when we get to several times, Trey's been fooled, because that is, of course, 7. Everybody dies.
There we go.
Law enforcement is involved.
Yeah. Once we hit several, that's when the police show up. All right. So fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think this is an important saying for all of us. Trey's reasonings notwithstanding. But for other instances as well, like this particular gentleman who, of course, this is Florida, and I don't want to belabor that point too much, but a Florida surfer needs to know the saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, because he was bitten by a shark at the exact same beach he was bitten by a shark 11 years ago. This is Cole Tashman, and here he explains to us his injuries and what his future plans are at that beach.
Had a little look at it when I got into close to the shore, and I saw kind of the damage, and I was like, okay, my toes are there. That was like all I really cared about. I can definitely tell you that I'm not going to be surfing out in Bathtub Beach again. Just pretty much all my buddies have been bit.
Did you catch that last bit?
Yeah, was the first
pretty much all my buddies have been bit.
But was his first shark bite 11 years ago to the head? Because it's hard to listen to Cole talk, buddy. Like he doesn't sound all there. He's like, I had toes and they were cool, and I'm not going to do it. My buddies are dead. Like, what are you talking about, Cole?
As long as the little piggy can go to the market, we're good.
Yeah, but don't ask him where the tiger is.
Yeah.
I don't know where his first bite was, Raj, but I do know in his interview on the TV news, he was wearing a hat. So maybe the first bite was to the noggin.
You take the hat off, it's just exposed brain.
Maybe that should be also kind of an obvious thing to not go back in the ocean. One is being bit in the head by a shark, but also let's not go into the water with exposed brain. I feel like that would be an attractant.
I'm just saying, if you listen to it, just play the interview again, and now just think of him as a head injury victim.
All right, I'm going to do that. Hang on, let's see. I'll try to rephrase this a little bit. A Florida surfer was bitten by a shark again. At the same exact beach, he was bitten by a shark in the brain 11 years ago. Oh, wait, hang on. No.
Got a little look at it when I got into close to the shore, and I saw kind of the damage, and I was like, okay, my toes are there. That was like all I really cared about. I can definitely tell you that I'm not going to be surfing out in Bathtub Beach again. Just pretty much all my buddies have been bit.
See?
Yeah, you're right. It helps if you re-listen to it, and he's.
I'm just waiting for them to pan out, and his wetsuit is just a hospital gown.
His brain is just gushing, but he's looking at his feet, going, "Yep, that one still gets to go to market. I'm good to go."
Toes are all there. He just finger guns out of the.
It's just.
I'll see you guys later.
It's pretty cool though, because when he does finger guns, those also shoot blood. It's just arterial spray throughout the room. But that's the beach he's going to no longer surf at anymore.
Yeah. And this coal, I'm assuming, is Trey, do you want to finish the sentence for me?
White.
Yes. Okay.
What was your first clue?
He was surfing after being bit before.
But not only that, but all of his buddies have been bitten, so none of them are capable of learning.
Yeah, so all of his friends are white. Good for him.
Well, now let's be fair here. He probably has a black friend, but that's the one friend that has absolutely zero injuries because he knew better.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
That previous segment brought to you by Brooks Plumbing. For any and all of your plumbing wants and needs, call Jacqueline at Brooks Plumbing, 214-368-3838. That's 214-368-3838 for Brooks Plumbing, any and all of your plumbing wants and needs. The website, brooksplumbingtexas.com. If you guys had to be assaulted by a car, what make and model would it be? And I'm not making this a versus type of thing. I'm just keeping this open-ended. If you guys had to be assaulted by a car, what make and model would you want it to be?
Smart car.
Okay, that's pretty good. Trey?
Had to be assaulted by a car.
Mm-hmm. Like hit, run over, we're not talking sexually.
Verbally? Verbally assaulted by a Camaro?
Yeah.
No, physical assault, but not sexual.
A 74 El Camino.
Interesting. Okay. So are you wanting to get hit by the business end or the party end? I have a reason. I have a reason why I asked you this question. Because if there's any man among us that is likely to be assaulted by a vehicle, it's probably Trey. Although it's not going to be a Stephen King, Christine the Demented Car type scenario. It'd probably be at the hands of a woman. Kind of like this story from Wallingford, Connecticut. This does not sound like a story that would come out of Connecticut, which last I checked is like the insurance capital of America. That's where so many insurance companies are based, is Connecticut.
It's the corporate capital of America.
Well, there you go. Well, maybe now I think it makes sense as to the reason why there's so many insurance companies in Connecticut, because a woman is facing charges for assaulting a man with her car outside of a bar in Wallingford, Connecticut. And my first thought when I saw this was, well, what kind of car? Because that might tell you what kind of injuries, how fast could she have been going? If it was a car, was it a truck? You know, these types of questions. Well, then I looked a little closer and I see the headline, woman arrested for using Camaro to assault man in Connecticut. And I thought, you know what? If you're going to get, if a woman's going to assault you with a vehicle, a Camaro is a pretty cool one to be assaulted with. There's sort of a cool aspect to it. I mean, it's not quite a Z28 with T-tops, but still not bad.
Okay.
They said this started as a domestic incident in October, on October 8th. Police said initially, Wallingford police were informed that a male fell in the rear parking lot of a local bar and was bleeding from his head. The victim was immediately transported to a hospital for further evaluation due to his visible injuries. Maybe he had that same gushing injury from the shark bite dude. The victim was then driven to another hospital to receive more advanced care. Detectives said that's when they were informed the victim suffered multiple serious injuries and was in intensive care. They investigated and reviewed footage from the scene of the incident. They said the video showed a woman behind the wheel of a black Chevrolet Camaro. She was driving with the victim on the hood of the Camaro at a high rate of speed. While the Camaro was in motion, the victim fell off the hood and hit the pavement where he lays motionless. The woman momentarily glanced down at the victim and then fled the scene.
Yeah, she looked down and was like, my work here's done.
Yeah. 24-year-old Alexis Marie Rivera of Wallingford, Connecticut, is charged with first-degree assault, first-degree reckless endangerment, and reckless driving with a Camaro.
And you go back to fool me once, shame on you. I promise, I'll bet this isn't this guy's first go around with this girl.
No. I think this was not his first time being run over by her.
The reason he was holding onto the hood is like, this feels familiar.
Yeah.
I've read that's how trauma bonds work. We gravitate to what's familiar, not necessarily for what is right. Or what's considered safe. I mean, it makes sense because he probably knows, or at least he thought he did. He thought he knew where the good handholds were on her Camaro.
He's like, I installed handles. Where'd they go?
Maybe
And honestly,
if
if there is a name that's synonymous with crazy, Alexis.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I knew two that were, well, one was a, yeah, that's you're 100% right. They don't even change their name when they strip.
Don't have to. All they got to do is add an X.
Just add an X or two.
Yeah. Or in her case, maybe she had to take one away. But seriously, wouldn't it be insult to injury if you got run over with like a Toyota Sienna? Because at least if you're in a room in the hospital and the guy next to you and you're sharing stories like, oh, what are you in for? It's like, oh, Camaro. What are you in for? Minivan. You're not cool.
Killer Corolla. You know, like, you don't wanna,
yeah, I mean, if you get run over by a minivan or like maybe a 4-door Tahoe, then that's just assuming you just took some lady's Stanley Cup and you got your comeuppance.
Or if it was a Subaru, they'd assume you made a lesbian joke.
Stole somebody's husky.
I am ordering an Uber right now for you, Trey, to show up at your house tomorrow morning and run you over.
You got hit by a rideshare? Like, that's even worse.
I think at this point, though, because Trey's made enough Subaru lesbian jokes, and he's got to be on a hit list.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
The Treehouse is open for business. If you would like to advertise right here inside the Treehouse and points beyond, give us a shout. treehouseonair@gmail.com. That is treehouseonair@gmail.com. Once again, if you'd like to advertise right here inside the Treehouse, you can do that. Just shoot us an email, treehouseonair@gmail.com. Today is Election Day. It is November 5th, 2024. I think it's important that we all come together and enjoy birthdays here on Election Day. Odell Beckham Jr., wide receiver in the NFL. He is 32 today. Honestly, I forget. Is he currently with a team? I can't recall. He was with the Ravens at one point. Obviously, he was with the Giants for years. Very famously made a phenomenal one-handed catch against the Cowboys and still lost that game. But, he made a hell of a catch. Other birthdays. Yes, Trey?
It says he's with Miami.
Good on him. Good on him. Which, by the way, I can never remember. I always brain fart the name of the Dolphins head coach, but I don't know if there's ever been a head coach in the NFL that did not look like an NFL head coach more than the Miami Dolphins head coach. Although he does look very Miami. Like, if you put a photo up of the Miami Dolphins head coach and said, is this man an NFL head coach or a drug dealer, you would have said drug dealers. There's no doubt. He looks like a Grand Theft Auto character.
The nerdy kid with the glasses?
Mm-hmm.
He looks like Neil Brennan. That's the comedian.
He does look like if Neil Brennan had like a Miami style brother.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Yep.
Mike McDaniel is his name.
Mike McDaniels, yeah. It's got a coachy sounding name, but he does not look it. He really does look like he looks like he'd be slinging smack like at halftime.
I always thought of him like he looks like an accountant. Like he just has this nerdy kind of look to him.
I guess I'm talking about him when he wears his faded sunglasses.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah, when he's wearing those, he looks like he's just trolling on South Beach. Other birthdays today. It wasn't even his. It was Odell Beckham. He's 32. Kevin Jonas, the oldest of the Jonas brothers, is 37. Raj, is he the one that's married to
Priyanka Chopra?
Yes, her.
No, that would be Joe Jonas, I believe.
Oh,
Nick Jonas. Sorry, Nick Jonas is married to Priyanka Chopra.
Gotcha. I can't keep my Jonases straight. Is this the Jonas that's married to the Game of Thrones girl, or is that still the other Jonas?
I think the other Jonas.
You know what? I think it's a good thing that I don't know which Jonas brother is which, and I'm just going to stick with that. Johnny Greenwood from Radiohead is 53. Sam Rockwell is 56 today. Phenomenal actor with a very generic name. He played George W. Bush in the Dick Cheney movie Vice. He was also Best Supporting Actor winner for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. He was in The Green Mile. Galaxy Quest is the first movie I remember him from, and he was absolutely phenomenal in Galaxy Quest. And if you've never seen that movie, I highly recommend it. Raj, have you seen Galaxy Quest?
Is that Tim Allen?
Yes. Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah. I have, yes. Yeah.
Love that film. He was in that. He's 56 today. Oh, and he was also the bad guy in Iron Man 2. Seth Gilliam, who played Father Gabriel Stokes on The Walking Dead, he is 56 today. He was also from The Wire and Oz. Judy Reyes, she played Carla on Scrubs. She's 57 today. She's also from TNT's Claws. Famke Janssen is 60. She was Jean Grey in the original X-Men trilogy. She is Olivia Godfrey on Netflix's horror series Hemlock Grove. She was also the bad guy or the bad girl, whatever, who squeezed dudes to death in Pierce Brosnan's GoldenEye.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was her big launching point. And she was so hot, and she has not aged well.
Oh, she's not. I haven't seen her lately.
If you want to see her a little more recently, you can watch her as Brian Mills' ex-wife in the Taken movies.
Yeah, she looks okay in the first Taken. I haven't seen. I didn't watch anything after that.
The first Taken was what, 15 years ago?
Yeah, but I
something
mean,
like that.
I after like when they came out with Taken 2, I'm like, you guys just need a better travel agent. I don't know what's going on. Like,
I believe Taken 4 is them just bringing her back. Take this, dude. You can have it. Tatum O'Neal, former child star, is 61. She's the tomboy pitcher in the original Bad News Bears. She was also the youngest Oscar winner ever. She was 10 when she won Best Supporting Actress for Paper Moon in 1974. Tilda Swinton is 64. She's the White Witch in the Chronicles of Narnia, the Ancient One in Doctor Strange. Bryan Adams is 65 today. Phenomenal Canadian musical artist. Hits include All for Love, Summer of 69, Cuts Like a Knife, and of course, the I think 1992 soundtrack song to Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I would do
yes.
anything. Yeah. Oh my God.
Oh, that was such a great song, and then what a great movie where Kevin Costner has a British accent for 44 seconds. It's amazing. Yeah, he also I was talking to I don't remember where I ran into this guy, but he is one of the road crew for Bryan Adams, and he's a vegan, and so when he's on tour, so is all of the crew in the band. They have to be vegan if you're going to tour with him.
Fat.
Yep. And then he said that the last time they went on tour, the last stop was in Prague, and the rest of the band and the crew stayed for a week after he left, so that they could all just get hammered and eat meat.
And then they went to a steakhouse. Sorry, I could not resist. You know what cuts like a knife? That joke. That's what. Right on my wrists.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Yeah, please do that. Go to treehouseonair.com. Check out all things Treehouse, links to numerous things right there on our website. It is, of course, treehouseonair.com. I think that actually would be a pretty good side hustle, is to follow around Bryan Adams on tour after what you just told us, Raj, that he forces his entire road crew to eat vegan with him while they're on tour. So your side hustle could be a meat dealer waiting outside their hotel when they sneak out, when Bryan Adams goes to sleep and they're looking for some meat. So they come out the front door. You're just standing there in a trench coat. You open up your coat. You're just like, hey, man, you need some meat? I got you. You want some ribeye? You want some filet? I got some skirt steak. What you want? I got you.
I got you some flank, baby. You know, Sugar got you some flank. Come on now. And Bryan Adams just sees you in every city, and he just walks into the lobby like, still got it. They're still following me all over the world. It's like, no, that dude just sells meat by the pound.
I got some sausage. Yeah. Bryan Adams just thinks it's a tweaker just following him around. Speaking of meat and speaking of eating meat, let's revisit momentarily the Florida surfer who thought it was a great idea to go back to the same beach in Florida where he was bitten by a shark 11 years prior, and then he promptly got bitten again. I want to share a little more with you from this news piece. This guy talks from about being bitten by a shark for the second time in his life at the same damn beach. Here we go.
Cole Tashman was bit by a shark last Friday at Bathtub Beach, that's north of Miami. His friends rushed him to the hospital after he says the shark came up from behind him, grabbed both his feet in its mouth. I guess he was like, chest down on the board. He looked back, saw the shark's face, and screamed. Somehow was able to catch a wave.
Gerald?
Cole?
Where you been? It's been 11 years.
What are you doing back here? I bet you the last time.
I thought you tasted familiar. You son of a bitch. How are the kids? They gotten bigger? Do they learn to swim yet?
Bring the family next time. You can meet my kids.
Call it a picnic, a frenzy, whatever.
Bathtub Beach. I mean, if there was ever anything in Florida that was code word for a meth manufacturing deal, Bathtub Beach.
It's right next to Bath Salts Bay.
But across from Methy Lagoon. How's your mom? Oh, God. Fool me once. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us. Did you get my invitation to the wedding?
You know I can't do land.
Didn't even RSVP, you bastard. All right. Thanks for hanging out with us inside the Treehouse. We will see you back in here tomorrow, where we can all recover together from our election distress. We'll see you back inside the Treehouse tomorrow.